Elizabeth Holmes on the stand in her fraud trial today. Cross-examination by the government that's been building its case against the Theranos founder for months. Federal prosecutors grilled her, shooting pointed questions at Holmes, trying to pick apart her defense. They pressed her about how her startup handled the Wall Street Journal report that first exposed the dysfunction within the company. The lawyers drilled down on what she said were her efforts to suppress whistleblowers who sounded the alarm that the Theranos blood testing machines didn't actually work as advertised. CNBC's Scott Cohn covering the trial and live outside the courthouse in San Jose. Scott?
Shep, Elizabeth Holmes has testified that there were a lot of things she would have done differently looking back on her time as Theranos CEO. And in 6 hours on the witness stand today, that list of things grew under often withering questioning from Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Leach. Remember those logos that Elizabeth Holmes admitted she put on pharmaceutical company lab reports and then sent to prospective business partners like Walgreens? It was Pfizer and Schering-Plough. Well, it turns out she did more than just change add the logos. She changed the language, including the conclusion on one of the reports. And there was apparently another company, GlaxoSmithKline, she did the same thing to. She also testified, and we learned, that Theranos was down to just about $15 million in 2013, just as it was about to launch its deal with Walgreens, catapulting the company into international fame. Over the last 24 hours, we have seen many sides of Elizabeth Holmes that we had not seen before. Emotional yesterday in that testimony about Sunny Balwani, her ex-boyfriend and the former chief operating officer. Today, sometimes evasive, sometimes contrite, and sometimes emotional under that intense cross-examination from Leach, who took aim again and again at Holmes' contention that her conduct as CEO was the result of abuse by Balwani. In court filings, Balwani has denied that abuse. He is scheduled to go on trial separately on 12 counts next year. Holmes emotional again as Leach had her read affectionate text messages between the two and confronting her with message after message about Balwani telling her about problems at the company, that countering her testimony on direct examination that Balwani hid things from her. And in case there was any doubt about who is in charge, Leach said this. He said he was an at-will employee, Balwani, wasn't he? Holmes said he was. Leach, you could fire him at any time. Holmes, I could. Holmes acknowledged that she badly mishandled the initial reporting from the Wall Street Journal, the first negative articles about Theranos in 2015, aggressively targeting company whistleblowers and the reporter at the Journal, John Carreyrou. Then there was her interview with CNBC's Jim Cramer about that topic, in which prosecutors say she lied about the number of tests that Theranos could conduct. Now, the cross-examination is not over yet. She will be back on the stand, but we have a long break now. No court until Tuesday. She'll come back on Tuesday morning, and then the defense will have to do a lot of cleaning up. Shep?
Scott Cohn live at the courthouse in San Jose.